All right, good evening, everybody. Tonight is November 14th. It's the monthly meeting of the Planning Board. If everyone could please stand, and we'll say pledge allegiance to the I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, the first item on the agenda is a request for waiver of site plan review approval continued, and it would be Mr. Cannon and Chad Beauregard, which we got this time, for 1486 Main Street. And Ted, if you don't mind going back and just walking through for the public what thought process is and what they want to do, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the board, Edward Cannon on behalf of the applicant, Chad Beauregard. This is a request for a waiver of site plan that we came back last time, and the board had raised some legitimate and good questions to say, you know, we understand maybe not a full-blown site plan would be necessary, but we do want to have some details to be able to impose some conditions on how the operation is run, which makes perfect sense. So we did that. We came back. We had a sort of a more detailed but not a full-blown site plan drawn to show the parking areas and where the materials would be stored. And the operation is going to be the wholesale of wood chips and firewood, essentially. The entrance area is all paved. So there was, you know, one of the points of note was to make sure that, you know, what's the plan to make sure that debris isn't carried out onto the street or, you know, in periods of rain that it's not carried away into the wetlands. There was at the time some confusion as to whether or not compost would be part of the materials, and that's not the case. So it's simply wood chips and firewood. The good thing about that is they don't really drag like compost does, and they don't get washed away quite like compost does, so they sort of percolate the water through them. But in listening to the board's concern, Chad has purchased a street sweeper to keep on site, so that if some of that material does start to drag, it's the good news. It's again, it's paved surface, so it's not like it's gravel or dirt that's going to be carried out on the 109. So if there's accumulation there, he's going to be able to have the street sweeper clean it up and make sure that that doesn't get carried out on the 109. Plus the location, he's going to do a lot of clearing in the on the easterly side, which is essentially had been previously cleared. It's just overgrown now. It's been really
Yeah, it's just bushes. I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's made 5 trees.
Yeah, it's sort of fallen into disrepair. So he's going to locate the material storage bins, which are concrete storage bins. I think most of us are used to what those would be, and quite a ways away from the wetland areas. So that, again, with the combination of the water sort of percolating through the material and being a long way away and having the ability, if there is some migration, to sweep that up, he has a fair handle on controlling that. And again, there's no retail, so you know, there's not going to be a lot of back and forth and traffic generated from customers. It's just going to be wholesale. There was some concerns raised by the building commissioner that I addressed in a supplemental letter to the board dated November 9th, which we would hope would be considered in conjunction with the plan to lay out some details of the site operation. In addition, because of the materials that are going to be used, the building commissioner suggested that Chad speak to the fire department because, you know, we all know, well, I think most of us know that wood chips, if they sit long enough, can spontaneously combust. So it's something that the chief took a note of. Did issue a letter to Mr. Beauregard, which I forward on to the board as well as my letter. So Mr. Beauregard totally is okay with all of the concerns raised by the fire chief, all of the items that I've raised in my letter, the details of the plan, to abide by those essentially as part of his operation of a wholesale wood chip and firewood service.
And I think the only other thing was that on that property, there was an existing permit, which upon sale of the property would be null and void.
Terminated, yeah.
That's correct, that's right, yes. There was a marijuana operation, I believe, which wisely, the current owner, Chad, has the property under contract to purchase, which we hope to be able to complete in December. But wisely, the owner, if something happens and it falls through, he doesn't want to lose his existing permit. And so the building commissioner wanted it made clear, which the owner's attorney wrote into the board to say, once that sale is complete, the deed's recorded, that existing special permit would be null and void, which is the intent of all parties.
All right, I think that pretty much answered everything that I was looking for. Is there anything from the board?
I just had one question, Mr. Chairman. Facility, are you gonna have any facilities, office trailer or bathrooms or?
Yeah, I'm gonna do an office trailer at some point. I mean, I want to get in there and clean it up and
Yeah,
kind of get working and then.
because the building that's there, that's gonna remain for
Yes.
for this time?
Yep,
For the time being?
yep.
Please just clear the site. It's
Yeah.
such atrocious looking. To drive down, it looks abandoned. And it is abandoned, so anything that you could do to, now you're still gonna allow we noticed that the auto body place across the street, you're
Parks
gonna
there,
allow
yeah.
them.
I talked to
parking.
those guys the other day. Yeah, they can, in the front, it's no, it's fine. They need overflow.
Yeah, be careful about that.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Yeah,
That's, so you'll clear that all up and
Yeah.
take care of the front of the,
yeah, we'll do a fence across the front, clean that all up.
yeah, good. Great.
George?
Mr. Chairman, are you going to be making mulch?
No,
No.
I haven't, Osgood or something, bring it in trailers.
Okay, all right. Okay, so you're not physically bringing
No, I'm
wood
not
chips
saying-
and
no.
mixing it with loam and,
No,
okay,
no.
all right. Because mulch, sometimes after a while, particularly in the summer, tends to have a nice odor to it.
I like that odor.
George's shop is within
I know, it's right
100
across the
yards.
street, yeah.
And sometimes the way the wind blows.
Oh, yeah.
They're bringing it closer to you, George.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
All right, anyone else? All right, well, with that being said, I make a motion that we approve the waiver of site plan review for 1480, 1486 Main Street.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. The only thing I would say on that is that the conditions that you had already talked about would be considered in that part. With that being said, I make a motion that we, I did make a motion, I don't, so
And I'll
let's
second
vote. So let's vote on it. So, I vote aye.
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 All right, good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And watch out with that street sweeper. I'm very convincing.
All right, the next item on the agenda, which I just buried, here we go, is 1375 endorsement of approved site plan. So that would be the lumber mill.
Great, thanks, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Edward Cannon still here for 1375 Main Street Joint Venture LLC, joined by Jim DeGiorno, one of the principals. And essentially, we did appear before the board to sort of start the process. The board, with the board's consultant, had raised some questions and wanted some tweaks to the plan, which have been made. Wanted an operation maintenance plan, which has been submitted. And then subsequently, the applicant has received approval from the select board for the use. So that's sort of a two-pronged approach, similar to what Mr. Beauregard has to do, which is select board approval for the use, because it's in a flood hazard zone, and then site plan approval from this board. So we believe we have addressed all of the concerns raised, and we're hopeful to have the board approve the site plan.
So I think according to this, we, yeah.
It's up there,
Yeah, so we
and
basically just need to sign
You
it.
just have to sign
Yeah,
off
all
the
right.
copies, and Ted can take one,
All right.
and you folks can keep the other two for the file. But you can just make a motion to endorse the approved site plan.
Okay,
Just put it
perfect.
on the record.
All right, I make a motion to approve the endorsed site plan.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, well, let's just sign it, we'll get you guys out of
Great,
here.
thank you very much.
That's right, you're right. Yeah. You're right.
This thing up in the air a little bit.
Jim?
Yes.
Would you mind putting the approval date as 10/10/23?
No, I'm actually doing pretty well.
Putting it in the right spot.
I use it for effects sometimes.
And the date endorsed is today's date.
What's the original date?
The date of approval is 10/10/23.
All right, handle this. One of the guys said he had shoulder surgery, and he had his right hand, he said,
Yeah, no,
I'd like to have to come around, do some practice and love to get it.
Plenty of right shoulders.
Biceps reattachments. I could have done dark stuff at one point.
I had bicep surgery. Little scar right there, a couple of rivets.
I got stuck right on the back. Yeah, both arms.
Well, he's still in love with himself.
Yes. Thank you, Jim.
Geez, you have eye surgery. Did you have eye surgery?
It's not a- Oh, it's not a- Yeah, we're six.
That's it.
Alrighty. All right.
Yeah, we're all good? Yeah.
All right, we have a signed and dated.
Good, so when I need some custom moldings, Rod, you guys can like fit me in? Absolutely. Even though you don't do wholesale, retail?
When do you think you're gonna start, do you know?
What's that?
Do you have any idea when you're gonna start, or?
Well, we're just starting to get equipment, so we're hopeful to be operational by the beginning of the year.
Excellent. Good luck.
Thanks.
It's good to see, you know, both businesses
Yeah,
across the street from it, you know, seeing something done with them.
yeah. It'd be great to work with Chad and very collaborative. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, happy
Thanks.
Thanksgiving,
You
everybody.
too.
You too, Ted. Take care.
Take care.
If we don't see you, have a great Christmas holiday.
You too, thank you.
Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah.
All right, next item on the agenda is 808 Main Street, McDonald's field change request as built approval. And presenting that is Daniel Bowler? or Daniel- Oh, Daniel Allen, sorry. Yes. There we go.
Good evening, everyone. Dan Allen with Bowler Engineering as the civil engineer on the project. I'm also here with Corey Pace, who's here representing ownership and operations for the restaurant. We're here today requesting a field change for the final landscaping that was installed on the McDonald's. Just to give you guys a little bit of history again on this. This project was approved back in December of 2021. Construction started in 2022. Based on the weather, there's like a drought and construction timing. We requested to install the landscaping the following year, in 2023, this spring. It ended up being installed closer toward the end of the summer, and then I think probably at 3 times they brought plantings in to get us up to closer to what was approved by the board. And then as noted in our kind of submittal there, what's out there now was deficient by a total of 24 plantings. There's about 11 arborvitae at the rear, and then like 13 shrubs along the sides. When the landscaper went out there, he believed that they were too close together, so he kind of limited the amount that was installed just based on from his perspective for when that was getting installed. And so based on kind of where that's at, we're just kind of requesting if it could be approved as installed with the deficiency of 24 plantings.
Right, and first of all, I want to thank Alan for bringing it to my attention that we forgot to close this out. So, and we went out and looked at it, we had our consulting
Yep.
engineer look at it, and, we agree, if you jam them too close, they're just not going to do well. There were two options, there was one for you, because there was supposed to be a certain number of plantings. One was for the install price, the other one was for just the plant material as a donation to the tree fund. Personally, I think, we're not here to punish people. If just the plant material, if you could make that donation to the tree fund, which will trim trees around the town, I think I would be happy with that, and I think then we could be all done, so. And other than that, I think everything else looked fine on the planting plan and the as-built. Anyone from the board have any comment?
I have a question, Mr. Chairman. The photo of the east property line, appeared to be some ground shrubs, about a foot tall.
Yep.
Are those gonna grow taller? Because it's really stark.
Yeah, those are junipers, right?
Yep, yeah, those aren't the mature height. Those will,
Those will fill it.
Yeah.
They're very hardy, they can.
Are we talking these ones here?
plow
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah,
on
those
top of them. I have them in my house, they end up.
it's like
they'll take
similar
them.
to the arborvitae, kind of at the rear there, at mature growth, they'll
Actually-
spread out.
Along that fence there, where that white fence is,
Yeah.
before the construction, that was actually what was there before. We, ripped them all out because they were literally, as tall as that wall.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Yeah, so all that came out, the fence went in, so I don't wanna put a timeline on it, but in a few years,
Well, those other ones were only planted in 1980, so I mean, it's not a big deal,
yeah, that's why we like to start low.
Okay, that's fine, thank you.
All right, well, if there's no other discussion, I make a motion that we.
Excuse me.
I mean, we're willing to donate the cost of the plants, I mean,
Yeah,
whatever that
no, that's
planting
fine.
would be
Yeah,
is, we can do that, and then, move on, so whatever that cost,
Yep. That was provided by Dave.
You
yeah,
want to make a
so,
motion to
Yeah.
approve that.
So would that be the
1705?
1705?
Yeah. And that's what I was just gonna do.
Yeah. I'm sure you will.
I make a motion that we approve the waiver of site plan approval with the understanding that the
It's a,
field change, sorry, that the owner will make the donation of $1705.50 to the tree fund.
second.
Motion's made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, great.
great,
Good.
thank you very
All
much.
done, close
Final.
that book on that one, all
All
done.
right, beautiful.
Good luck, thank you.
guys.
Appreciate it.
It's good to see that it's busy.
Bring the check to the planning board to my attention, and then.
Okay.
when I get it-
We have,
Yeah, I've got Camille's contact info.
Yeah.
we'll get
Yeah, I
both.
think I did.
Thanks
Thanks
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you. You too, thank you.
Thank you.
It's good to see it busy. It's the only thing we have.
All right. Other item was the approval of the minutes from October 10th, 2023. I make a motion that we approve the minutes as written.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, great. We have a meeting that we need to schedule for January.
Mr. Chairman, do we have a meeting in December?
Yes, the 5th.
The 5th.
December 5th, I'm sorry.
So and then we'd like to get on the docket for the, Camille, I will send you for the PFAS
PFAS.
plan. Yeah,
So is it going to be a special permit for site plan, with site plan
I think it's gonna
approval?
have to, is it too late for that, or,
No, there should be enough time.
because we'll have to
get-
do it would be the same list we did for the
Oh, wait, I
Concom.
have to add, hold on, let me just see. When do you expect the application to be filed?
Yeah, that's, we're working on the Board of Health right now.
December 5th, 1, 2.
When's the, well, you know what, let's wait and see what the meeting in January is.
Yeah, I think, because I'd probably have to have it advertised
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
away.
Well,
Yeah, then
we
the
haven't
next
set the
meeting's
January
only,
meeting. When
That's
do you
what I'm saying,
want-
let's
do you
wait.
want to-
January 1st is a holiday, you want to do the 2nd or 9th, it's up to you guys.
Which one would be better, if
The
you want
ninth.
to go later?
New Year's Day is the 1st.
Probably the 9th.
The ninth,
yeah, you don't want to do
Yeah.
the second.
Okay.
Second's too soon.
Yeah, How much you have to push it to the?
Because what happens is I can't file the SRF grant until everything is approved, so. And then in early January would be fine, because we want to
Okay.
get it all in by.
Yeah, because I have to have it advertised at
Yeah,
least
yeah.
2 weeks ahead of time, so I need it like the week before, like
Mhm.
3 weeks. So December 5th and January 9th? Okay.
Okay.
Or would the 16th be safer?
No, the night before, yeah. They'll be ready.
All right, well, if
Get in
there,
here?
yeah. Is there,
Well, I don't think it's like official, yeah, I just have a couple of quick questions about, more about process and
okay,
officially ready to like go in front of you, sorry.
all right, well,
I imagine you have to like file
we'll close the meeting, we can
applications
talk, how's that sound?
and
Perfect.
stuff. Thank you, sorry.
All right, no, that's fine. I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yep.